Okay, so for fifth period, this is your homework for this long weekend. I mean, for third period, it's your homework for the long weekend. But fifth period, this is your homework when we get back. So I just wanted to do a little video that's separate so I could put it up so you could access it whenever the day is right for you to do the homework. So looking at this problem, now remember on the other page, we were dealing with the fact that we have to we've got a side we're trying to find. In all of these problems, you'll notice that we're trying to find an angle. So remember, this is when, I don't know if you remember the story, this is when the couple's getting a divorce and one's going to become an ex. So if you can kind of think about that story, that might help you here too. Remember, my first steps are going to be exactly the same. We're always going to identify the hypotenuse, the opposite, and the adjacent, and we have to identify our angle of perspective, or the angle of reference. And that's going to be this variable, because that's the one we want to find out. So I'm going to label. I know this is my hypotenuse. I know when I take my finger and I place it upon that vertex of that angle, I'm now touching two sides. The one I'm touching is on top is the hypotenuse, and on the bottom there, this is my adjacent side. That leaves this side as my opposite side. Now we can come up with our function. And I can look and I can see, you know what, I don't know all the sides here. So I'm definitely going to have to get rid of this h because he doesn't help me at all. So I'm looking here and I have an O and an A. Which of these mnemonics uses an O and an A? Yes, the tangent is the O and the A. So I know I'm going to be finding the tangent of this angle x. I don't know what it is. And that's going to equal the opposite over the adjacent. Well, this is that tricky problem. When x is the angle, it's going to divorce the function in front of it. So it's going to divorce tangent. Remember, when she leaves or he leaves, whatever gender you want to make him, he's going to get one divorce. And we're going to count that just here as a strike against him. Not that I mean any judgment here, but just to kind of help you think about what's going to happen here. So in order to get that strike, I have to come up and hit the second key and then the tangent key. Notice we get that strike against him. Now, I don't mean that as a bad thing. I'm just trying to help you remember using a story here. And inside the parentheses, I put the ratio that I've come up with based on the opposite over the adjacent for this particular function of a tangent. And then all we do is hit enter. Now we're rounding to the nearest degree here. So I want to look and I want to say, okay, 16. I want that 6 to be my last digit. So I've got to look just one to the right. Is that a 5 or more? Yes, it is. So my degree, the x degrees, is going to be 17 degrees. And that's that angle right there. Now, we could come over here, and they've said O over A, which is 3 over 10. We can fill in all our boxes. But that's just kind of redundant. We already did the work here. You will find that 12, 13, 14, and 15 are very similar to that. Now, in number 16 and 17, I want to encourage you to please, before you do anything, please find one triangle at a time. And I'm going to put a box around the triangle that you should find first. So in number 16, this triangle is the angle you want, the triangle you want to work with first. Draw it away and use the trig functions to find it. Once you find this, you're going to be able to solve for W. Take W and plug it in, and then I want you to do this green triangle. This is a multi-step problem, so you're really going to have to think about what I'm going to do to apply this information. Now, red comes before green. You got to stop and then go. So I'm going to do the same thing over here. And when I look at this problem, this is my first one. See if you can't think of why I have to do that before I can find this. And you might really have to think about that for a minute, because that's a pretty tricky one. 17's tricky. I imagine we'll wind up doing that in class together. But try it. See what you can come up with. And then on number 18, please, I don't even it's not showing on the screen yet. Number 18, you know what I'm going to say. Draw a picture. If you don't draw a picture, you're really going to struggle with this problem, because you guys won't have anything to write on. I realize you guys can be kind of lazy math students, but in this case, please waste the paper and draw yourself a picture. Good luck. Hope you do well. You guys are rocking this. I'm so proud of you. I know that you guys can do it. And I will see you next class. Thanks. Have a great rest of your day.